It's hard to believe that it's been 18 years since I started at Homestart. What a journey it's been. Definitely some highs, some lows, some challenges along the way. But when I started, the board told me a little bit about where Homestart was, that we definitely needed to raise some more money. And as I found out, I saw that we needed to grow, and we need to find a way to tell people who we are. And I saw that no one else was really paying attention to young women and children who were facing homelessness. And so we found a way to connect to the community, and we're going to be there forever. These programs will be there forever. What I always come back to is our mission, and it's about assuring the safety and resiliency of children. And we do that by strengthening families. And I feel incredibly blessed to have been some small part of touching the lives of women and children who've suffered. And there's so many success stories, so I know while it's been a challenge, we've grown so much.
Yeah, so I come from intergenerational poverty. So homelessness was something that I was born into, and I sort of just tumbled around until I was able to find the transitional living program that Laura helped establish through the YMCA, and you know, by luck or by chance, I was accepted into that program, and it was sort of the beginning of the end of that poverty. If that program didn't exist, if Laura didn't put in that footwork decades before I walked through those doors, I don't know if I would have been able to make it out of these cycles of poverty that have plagued my family forever. That was really where our entire trajectory for myself, for my children, that's where we were able to gain stability and have a fruitful life and all the things that we hope to see for the people we work with. I was working with neighbors and other young people in a similar situation, and thankfully the YMCA saw opportunity in that, and then I became what's called a support specialist, which is essentially a person that's right next to someone who's navigating resources. And for me, Laura has carved a path, and it's a path that doesn't necessarily lead to any one position or any one role, but really a path to improve the community as a whole. We have an opportunity to create services and programs that can help the world, right? And so I think that's one of the greatest tools that Laura has sort of bestowed upon me, is this creativity and sort of a real life example of what it looks like to be a figure of change, and not just, an acronym like a CEO or a director or whatnot, but what it means to be a great human and really show up for those that need some help or need some representation.
I first heard about Homestart when I was homeless. I was staying in my vehicle because I was fleeing from domestic violence. I contacted 211, and 211 reached out to me, letting me know that it's a program called Homestart, and that I fit the criteria. And so I connected with 211, and then that's when I met with the case manager from Homestart, and we did all the paperwork, and that's when she told me that me and my daughter has been accepted into the program. I was sleeping in the car for about 6 months to 7 months. Like anywhere that I thought was safe and had like lights and like people walking at night, just so I could feel safe, because I was fleeing from domestic violence. When I first started Homestart, I was in the Frisbee program. We got our keys, we completed all the paperwork, I met my case manager. It was home, it was so welcoming. The first thing she did was give me a gas card. So I got a gas card, I got a money, like a Vons gift card, which was helpful because we had nothing. It was home. We had a house to call ours. It was safe. It was gated. The program was gated. We got our apartment. I showed her. She ran around, seen the bed, and I let her know that this is ours. So she was just so excited. Actually laying in a bed was a big deal for us because my back was hurting. I made sure that she was the only one laying in the back. So I know that she loved having her own bed with me, and also calling it home. You know, it's no more, oh, go to the car. It's actually, okay, we're going home. I remember meeting Laura at the thrift store. I think I was working one day and she came in to purchase something, and then that's when she let me know that I did a good job at my customer service, and she introduced herself as a CEO, and ever since then, you know, we've been clicking. So that's the first time that I ever met her. I'm thankful for her. I'm thankful for the program that she had me in. I'm also thankful that she's one phone call away, so if I ever need anything or just needed to talk, she always had a listening ear. I'm thankful for Laura. Yes, I'm thankful for her. I was working at the thrift boutique, Homestart Thrift Boutique, where I learned people skills, customer service, learning how to deal with money. I was also learning how to organize like clothing. My job now, I love that I can give back. I love I can share my story of where I came from, that it doesn't matter your situation, you're gonna always have a positive outcome and you can do it, that this is just a testimony.
When I first met Laura, I was a program manager at Homestart. I was working with the Family Self-Sufficiency team, and that was back in the mid-1990s. Must admit, that sounds like a century ago. We worked on a collaborative grant application together. She was working at the YMCA Youth and Family Services at the time, and I was with Homestart. I remember liking her from the very beginning. Working on collaborative grants is not always the easiest thing. It involves a lot of give and take, and we're not always at our best during those processes. But Laura was super creative, very professional, very collaborative. And I remember during the process thinking that it would be nice to have a chance to work more closely with her in the future. While I moved on from Homestart and became a full-time mom, Laura continued her journey advocating for San Diego's most vulnerable populations. Our paths did cross some years later when I joined the board of directors of Homestart and had, during my tenure on the board, the distinct pleasure of being on the hiring committee when she joined Homestart as the chief executive officer. It was my absolute pleasure to serve on the board and watch her transform Homestart services along the way. Her tenacity and her quiet demeanor and her unwavering dedication in the face of so many challenges that nonprofits face has just been remarkable. When I think about Laura, I admire her for so many things. Since coming to Homestart, she's been a force for good. Her dedication to the mission and vision of Homestart has been unrelenting. In fact, she has without a doubt expanded Homestart's reach of services and been a visionary and advocate for the most disadvantaged families here in San Diego. I am so proud of her launching Homestart's maternity housing program. That's a program that provides housing and job training to pregnant and parenting women at risk. Laura also brought the idea of social enterprises to Homestart, with setting up Homestart's thrift store on Adams Avenue and the Bright Futures candle-making business. These wonderful programs will be Laura's legacy. It will be remembered that she put her heart and soul into all three programs.
I'm incredibly honored that there is going to be a fund set up called Laura's Legacy of Love, and that it will be for women and children who have risk factors. We know our government funding stays flat, but there are sometimes emergencies that emerge, and so women and children have some of the greatest risk for poverty, for abuse, domestic violence, and homelessness. And so this fund is going to keep them in the forefront of all of our minds, and I thank everyone who makes any donation of any size. They need you. I have high hopes for the future of Homestart.